we got another item from the jungle site that fits DeWalt sled type batteries, your 20-volt variety. Of course, you already know what's in it because of the description. We got a 20-volt cordless heat gun. So the description is upgraded cordless heat gun for DeWalt 20-volt battery with LCD digital display, variable temperature control with 5 nozzle attachments, portable cordless air gun for crafts, shrinking, PVC, stripping of paint. New item made in China. So let's take it out of the box. So we got our destruction manual. And of course, the first half of the page is safety instructions, how to attach the nozzles, switching on and off, temperature setting, low temperature and high temperature, using the tool when it stands on its own, so it can either stand up on a battery or it can be laid down on its back. And of course, never be around sources of gasoline, benzene, thinner, alcohol, or the like. Otherwise, you might blow yourself up. So we got some nozzles. We got a flat nozzle. That's for paint stripping. Got that kind. And we got longer, more narrow flat nozzle for paint stripping. And then we got our round nozzles in various different sizes. So we got a smaller and a wider, and then we got our little wraparound device for deflecting the heat around something. So either one of them looks like can go around either one of them. Of course, you'll have to find your own uses for that. And then we have the heat gun itself. So this is the Ecarke cordless heat gun. And then we got all the safety stuff. So we got a disengage safety to squeeze the trigger, and then we have a trigger lock. And then of course we got our looks like a little LED light down here, and then your battery thingamajig, and then our heat high-low for heat settings. And then we have the digitals. So we got our little LCD display. We can set the fan speed and the temperature. So let's stick a nozzle in while it's still cool. And then since that's secure, if you need to use your little deflector, then you can put that on at the same time. Of course, you have to fiddle with it, depending on how big of an item you're going to stick in here. Because if you put it in all the way like it is, you can see that you don't really have a lot of room. So you kind of like, you know what I mean. So let's stick a battery in it and see what it does. So we'll stick it on high heat, and we'll plug it in, and then we'll see what we get. So it looks like we have to so you got to adjust it on the fly. So we're going to squeeze the trigger, and then our little LCD comes up, and it's 300C. And it's starting to warm up. And then we can adjust our fan speed. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speeds you got. And then so on the switch with the H, meaning high heat, our lowest temperature is 300, and then we can go up in increments of 5. So we started at 300 and we can go all the way up to 550 Celsius on high speed. And you can see we got some glowing embers in there. And then we can switch it to low speed. So on low speed, the highest temperature is 300 C, and then you go down. So 300 to 50 Celsius. And of course you can change your fan speed if you choose to. So we'll go back on high, and we'll crank up the heat a little bit. And if you push and hold, then you can have the fast advance. So we'll go up to 550. We'll get her nice and hot. So what do you use a heat gun for? Either, well, most of them are, most commonly it's for heat paint stripping. You know, like your windows and your wood trim and stuff like that, so you can peel the paint off of it. Or you can use it to bend plastic. So here's a piece of plastic, and we'll get it heated up here. Of course, you can also use a heat gun very carefully to thaw out your frozen pipes. So we can put the trigger lock on so we don't have to hold it. And then see if we can bend this pipe. And of course, like I said, you can stand it up on your bench like this or like this. Getting warm. As you can see, when you warm it up, you can bend the pipe to whatever you need. Of course, you got to be careful that you don't collapse it while you're bending it. So this is still a good piece of pipe, so I'm going to put it back to straight, just like brand new. So what else can you use a heat gun for? Well, you can use it for your heat shrink applications. So I got a piece of heat shrink here. And of course, if you want to, you know, wrap up something that's a wire or a battery, we can use the heat gun to shrink the shrink, so you don't have to use a lighter. course, you catch my drift. It's getting a little warm to the fingers. And then you can just release the trigger and allow it to cool. So probably the best bet to let it cool is to let it stand up so that the heat rises and it doesn't go into the motor housing. So I guess that's a wrap for the Ecarke. I guess that's how you call it, Ecarke, or whatever. Our little 50, you might as well say 50 to 550C cordless heat gun will come in handy. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.